Hello, hello, hello. This is my, I don't know, seventh, sixth vlog about TFA while I'm here at my wonderful experience at the Georgia Tech campus in wonderful Metro Atlanta. Metro Atlanta. Anyways, that's my ID. um, this is my, I've been here, this is my third week because the first week was induction. The second week was like all straight up training from morning till night. And then this week is actually teaching summer school. We're teaching from, we're teaching in the morning, taking classes in the afternoon, and then pretty much planning our lessons in the evening. And on top of all that, I'm studying for my standardized test. So in other words, I haven't had very much sleep and been very busy, and I have had a couple emotional breakdowns this week, but I think I've seen at least 4 or 5 other people also have it, and that's just what I've seen, because when I had my emotional breakdowns, it was pretty private. There wasn't a whole bunch of people, so I've seen people who broke down in public, and then I broke down in private, which I did kind of break down to a couple people that I feel like I can trust, and not that I feel like I can trust, but I also feel like that it won't be a burden on them. So, so it's been stressful, and emotions tend to flare because we have deadlines, and they're hard deadlines apparently. That because they want to be able to, before we have our finalized lesson plan, they want to be able to review it with us, give us feedback, and then have us redo it to match their standards. Well, for me personally, I'm kind of a perfectionist, so I make sure, so whenever I do my lesson plan, I'm really thorough, and I try really hard to make sure everything is good, so it takes me extra long. I feel like it takes me longer than most people, but I think I'm not the only one. There's a few other people who are really intent on being perfect, and because I don't really like the idea, like, I want to get my feedback and have to change like nothing. Like, that's my goal, like, to do my draft, send it in, get feedback that says, wow, that's very good, just try to remember this one little thing. Add that one little thing, won't take me any time, and then be done with it, because I don't like spinning, like, it feels really redundant to have to work on something and then work on something again. So that's why, but I end up having to do a lot of, like, the feedback. I really have to think about it and expand on what I already have, or cut out some stuff that I shouldn't have, and stuff like that. So it's been a long week, but today was Tuesday, and that'll be my second day actually teaching a class, and I have to say, I just love my class. I'm having such a good time, like, reaching out to the students, and kind of, I feel like me and my co-teacher are just like so lucky, and pretty much the entire Spanish department, because for the most part, I've heard stories in the same school that I'm teaching, like math teachers, science teachers, English teachers, people have been thrown up on, people have had to break up several fights. Okay, when I say people have been thrown up on, one woman got thrown up on the first day. So, and it has not, people aren't just going around vomiting on everyone. But there was that incident, and that's kind of sucky. And then in the same time, there's just a lot of apathy, along with discontent and bad behavior, rudeness, and on top of that, you've got all this other stuff going on with the lesson planning and the classes and the late nights and everything like that, and it can be really emotionally draining. But in my class, not a problem. As a matter of fact, the only time I've ever had a problem was when people call out an answer without raising their hand. And that is, to me, it's like, that's just managing people's behavior. It really is a good thing, though, because that means that people are eager to learn, and they're just not used to that kind of rigid format. And whenever I first was told that we need to instruct them to raise their hand, I kind of felt like, I mean, come on, these guys are in high school. Sometimes they might know the answer, they can call it out, but then the curriculum specialist that's been teaching us how to run a classroom said, well, if somebody calls out the answer, then they're stealing someone else's opportunity to learn. And I never thought about that, and it makes a lot of sense. So that's exactly what I use whenever someone does shout out an answer. I say, you are a really extroverted person, so it's really easy for you to say an answer in class, but there are people who kind of might take a little minute, maybe be a little bit more shy, and by shouting out an answer, you're stealing their opportunity to learn or to share that they know the answer. And that works. I mean, they listen to me, and they internalize it, and it's logical, and then we have no problems. I mean, seriously, the first day I had a problem with a girl, and I don't know, at least 3 times, and at the 3rd time I said, okay, now that's your second warning. So I mean, that's your second consequence. So you're gonna have to, you owe me a minute of reflection during break time, because we give them like a 10-minute break in between lessons, because it's a 2-hour class. So for them, they sit there for 2 hours. So I feel 10 minutes, they can go to the bathroom, lay their head down, get up and walk around, do whatever they want to do. So what I feel is, I feel like they're just really receptive, and it's like that one person had to write a reflection on why that her actions didn't show respect. That's what originally that's what I was going to have her write a reflection on, but then I read her results of her diagnostic test, which is a test we administer the first day to kind of gauge where the students are, and then also measure their improvement from the beginning to the end. And she made the highest score. And honestly, I can't understand why she's in summer school. She did really well. She made like in the 80s, and for someone to be able to go back through the entire semester of Spanish that they flunked and be able to make a high 80 on it is pretty exceptional, I think, to be able to remember all that. So she's, for some reason, probably behavior, she ended up in the summer school. And so whenever she came into the classroom, I just called her aside and I said, listen, I said, do you know what it shows me when a person is really smart? Because I told her she did really well on her test. I said, somebody who's really smart and also kind of misbehaving or shouts out answers and stuff like that, it tells me that they're a leader. You obviously know what you're talking about, you are intelligent, and you can set the stage and become a leader to your classmates because you know what you're doing, you can help them out, and you can be a role model for them. So whenever you sit down and write your reflection, I want you to write about how you can be a good leader and what kind of things you can do. And that really reached out to her. And then she wrote her thing, and it was pretty insightful and touching. And then I dug up a survey that I gave to all the students, just kind of asking them about themselves, personal interests, what do they want to do when they grow up, kind of thing, and what's their favorite color, what's their favorite music, blah blah blah. And she said she wants to be a nurse, a registered nurse. And I wrote on there, that's very thoughtful of you. And by the way, the Spanish word for nurse is la enfermera. And it was kind of my way of connecting to her on a personal level. So it just felt really good to be able to connect to a student on a personal level and make her know that I'm not trying to punish her or crack down on her because she made some mistakes and she's just not used to the classroom environment that we set for them. But I also want her to know that I have high standards for her because I do expect a lot from her, and I don't feel any need to slack on her because I believe in her. And I think she completely got it, and not once today, not a single time did she call out an answer without raising her hand first. She was amazing. It only took one day to teach her, and that set the scene for everyone else because no one else called out answers, and it was really nice. So, but I also have sessions during the course. There'll be times where you can't call out an answer because it's an introduction to new material. But then after we go through in a review, we do it in a kind of a discussion way because it is a language class and you have to be able to speak. And in a normal situation, you can't just raise your hand every time you say something. So when we're done doing our initial learning, introduction and new material, we go through and have a discussion. So I make sure that it's clear that, okay, raise your hand if you know the answer, and then whenever we switch gears, I say, okay, so we're going to have like a discussion, so you can just call out, just not call, just say out your answer without having to raise your hand in this portion. So that's another thing that they teach us, that being really clear and explicit, because you can't very well teach someone or train someone how to act if you don't give them good directions, and you don't have any right to give anybody consequences if you don't give them instructions first. So it's just been really a really good learning experience, but everyone is tired. It seems unnatural. I mean, they feed us because they give us cafeteria food, and we can go in there and during the hours and go get our meal, and we have a place to stay, so we don't have to worry about like providing food for ourselves or where we're going to sleep or anything like that. And I really think if I had to make my own lunch every day and make my own dinner and breakfast every day, I couldn't do it. Like, there's no way. So I'm really grateful that they do that, but also I wish they would just ease up a little bit. Jeez. I guess they have high standards for us, and they want us to be leaders, just like I want my students to be. Oh my god. Anyway, so that's where I am right now. I'm just really tired. I'm learning a lot. I've got the exam coming up on Saturday. I will be, even if I won't know my results until for another month after I take the test. But I'm just going to be so relieved, because it won't be, I mean, it's like if I either pass or I didn't, so there's no point in me stressing out about it, and I can really focus on what I need to focus on and not be preoccupied about that whole stupid thing. So that's where I'm at, and right now it's almost 10 o'clock, and I'm going to take a shower and go straight to bed, because I finished early. Well, early as in I finished by 9:30, like I finished all my work by 9:30. Remember, I woke up at 5. Wow, I'm tired. Okay. Anyway, signing off now. Peace, love, and laughter to everyone, and thank you for supporting me and continuing to watch my vlog. And I hope that everybody has a really good week. Thank you.